Your testimony is Bob Mueller did not kick you off because of the content of your text. He kicked you off because of some appearance that he was worried about.
Sure. My testimony, what you asked and what I responded to, was that he kicked me off because of my bias. I'm stating to you it is not my understanding that he kicked me off because of any bias, that it was done based on the appearance. If you want to represent what you said accurately, I'm happy to answer that question, but I don't appreciate what was originally said being changed.
I don't give a damn what you appreciate, Agent Strzok. I don't appreciate having an FBI agent with an unprecedented level of animus working on 2 major investigations during 2016.
Okay, that went well. Peter Strzok speaking public about the handling of the Clinton email probe, and then the impression that he and Lisa Page, who were an item at the time, were disparaging then candidate Donald Trump and would do everything in their power to make sure that he never became President Trump. The Wall Street Journal Editorial Board member Bill McGurn, USA Today Congressional reporter Eliza Collins. Bill, what is this back and forth proven?
Well, it's proven that Peter Strzok doesn't want to answer any questions. The Democrats don't want any questions answered, and they're going to hide behind national security the way they did when the House Intelligence Committee released its report. Remember all the predictions of doom and gloom and betrayal of secrets if that came out? There are a lot of people that don't want us to know what happened in 2016.
Eliza, listening to this back and forth, is it your impression that he was aware, or that Strzok was aware of this Russian probe, or this Russian noise? That's probably more the way to characterize it, because the probe hadn't begun, and that colored his views of then candidate Trump?
I am not going to speculate on what Strzok was aware of or not aware of, but I will talk about this hearing in general and just how completely partisan it is. I think that the Democrats, you're absolutely right in saying that they don't want Strzok to say much about what the Republicans are trying to get him to say. They're definitely stalling. They're fighting over releasing a transcript from a private interview before this. Right. The Republicans have gone in definitely with their minds already made up about Peter Strzok. And Peter Strzok is a professional. He knows how to avoid answering these questions, and some of them definitely he probably cannot answer. But it's really a mess, and all 3 sides are kind of pushing for what they want and not what the other side wants.
Bill, the one thing I could see is this does continue an effort to say, all right, these were the folks who were in crucial positions passing judgment on a candidate who, at least to date, both on the record, off the record, identified, not identified, held anonymous in these, the IG's report, not a one of them apparently fans of Donald Trump. I've yet to run into any FBI personality, Justice Department personality, who was biased toward Donald Trump. But what do you make of all this?
Right. Well, look, there's several things. One is Mr. Strzok, again, hid behind attacks on the FBI and the many thousands of people. This has nothing to do with the 35,000 men and women that work for the FBI very well every day out in the offices. It's about a dozen people at most in the central office who didn't trust their own agents in the field, took control of these investigations. Peter Strzok's argument today is that what he said we shouldn't believe. What he said when he was being most candid or had reason to believe no one was looking, he didn't really mean anything. And it's just kind of absurd on its face. The bigger question is, we still don't know when the FBI investigation was really launched. And we're getting ridiculous answers, from the FBI director, Christopher Wray. I think he's kind of the John Koskinen in this story, who took over at the IRS. Right. I mean, his answer is bias training. Tell me 2 things, Neil. One, what part of these many texts that Mr. Strzok sent his married lover over FBI phones screams to you professional? These are the 2 biggest blabbermouths in history, right? That's one part. And then, Mr. Wray's answer is we're going to have bias training. So I guess FBI agents, even people that are at the top of the counterintelligence circle, seem to not know that it's not right to express your biases over FBI phones about one of the investigations. I mean, it's just incredible. It's a show today.
Well, you know, and I think you both hit on it here. Both sides try to milk all they can out of it. So I don't know where this goes. Eliza, to your point, if you're the Republicans, you're trying to say whatever the report Bob Mueller ultimately comes out with, it's going to be compromise or the precedent for it and what led up to it was built on a stack of biases and ineptness and the likes of which we've never seen. So damaged goods, whatever Mueller comes up with. Democrats, meanwhile, will say there was a lot of there remains a lot of there. This guy was fired after all, and it wasn't based on an appearance of anything. It was just based on the fact that would not be tolerated by Bob Mueller. So what's the big deal? But ultimately, it's a wash, isn't it?
Well, it really depends who you are and how you felt going into this. I imagine there aren't going to be a ton of people whose minds are changed. But, you know, there's definitely new information being discussed, but a lot of it has already been out there. I mean, Peter Strzok is no longer on this. It's been reported all along when he was removed and all of that. So the IG came out and said, yes, it makes the FBI look bad, but there weren't biases. So that's what Strzok is, you know, standing on. And I don't think there's going to be much change today by people who want to spin it their way on both sides trying to ask the questions.
Guys, thank you both very, very much.